So, currently driving back to my parents, and just my surroundings is stirring up a lot of thoughts and emotions in me. Things I already know, but things that perhaps some people who might watch this video won't know. So I think I'm probably going to have a little mini music while I drive down this road. When you're here, you can see the excess, you can see everything's over-engineered based on desire. I know people who are struggling today, who are waking up and battling for their survival, and I'm watching people drive past me in completely unnecessary vehicles, over-engineered sports cars and such. The world's made a big mistake. It's made a big mistake. And if you literalize it and let people see it, they would agree. They would agree. You know, if you were to say to somebody, well, you can have your over-the-top sports car. I'm guilty of this. I used to drive sports car when I was here. I wasn't super flash or anything, but I drove one. An excessive vehicle, a needless vehicle. And if you said to someone, you can have that car, and we can waste the resources manufacturing that car so as you can fulfill one of your desires. Or you can have a normal, bog standard, small car that does the same job, still get you to where you need to go. But you can feed these children. You can house this family. You can save this child's life. You can provide clean water, which is making children terribly sick for the rest of their lives, instead of having that sports car which will rust and fall away. And this is the problem with humans, as every spiritual teacher taught. Desire is the issue. Human desire is it's a dark thing because it's filled with ignorance. And I had someone ask me the other day about the children and karma, who I care for. My children. They're not who I care for, they are my children. And they asked whether I had any idea about karma, whether maybe the children had done something wrong in a past life and this is why they were born this way. And the thing is, with perception of people, they look at a child like that and they say they can't possibly be happy. But my children have no desires. All they have is uchira and the life they live. They might desire a certain food. They might desire a hug. They might desire to play with one of the toys. That's it. They don't know about the rest of the world. They don't know about the material ideologies that supposedly bring about happiness that the rest of us have been fed. So they're not chasing happiness. They're happy. They're always happy. So perhaps they look at someone like us and say, I wonder if they did something wrong before they were born into this body and were punished with the bottomless pit of desire that affects all humans. Because as I say, they don't know anything else, so they're happy. They don't desire anything other than their world. Whereas us humans in the West, we're desiring stuff and we're chasing stuff. And you know yourself when you get it. It doesn't mean anything. If you go look in your wardrobe at all the clothes you've bought, that was a good example with me when I was in England. You'll know yourself that it didn't do anything for you. It didn't fulfill the thing you were hoping it would fulfill when you bought them. And if, like me, you look back at the different cars that I bought, because I thought I was interested in cars, and I can see now that they were just meaningless, fleeting distractions which didn't do anything for me or the world. This is why we need to overcome and sidestep the five senses. This is why we need to learn to meditate and to overcome our want and need for empty material desires that will never fulfill you. If you can teach yourself in meditation to be happy, with nothing, to be happy with the present moment, to be happy to take a breath, to be happy to look out at the sky, to be happy to hold your loved one's hand, to be happy to hug your child, to be happy to eat a simple food, just the fact you've got food, then the world will change. And that can only happen when everyone starts going within themselves. You see, if you can learn to be happy with nothing, you then open up the door to have the ability to share your happiness. If your happiness is attached to material items and material desires, you've closed your ability to share the happiness without being materially super successful. And eventually, as all materiality and all resources do, it would run out anyway. So when your happiness is implanted in something external from you, in the desire to buy a new car, new clothes, new furniture for your house, whatever, then you're never able to share that because you're always too busy trying to make yourself happy, the me happy. So if you can eliminate that, then you can bring about the ability to share happiness, because it's unlimited supply and it's free. And you don't have to do the bidding of another person to get it. You don't have to work long hours to buy it. You don't have to buy into the advertising. It's made you think, if I get there, I'll find the happiness. You can just find it in yourself, and then the door's wide open. You can share that. You can share that happiness anyway. And you know, in the West, it's more difficult for people to go within themselves because there are so many people desperately trying to pull you outside of themselves, because they're so outside of themselves. They need you to come outside of yourself so they can have more material desires to try and accomplish the happiness that they're seeking. But they'll never find it. And nor will you. You'll never find happiness outside of yourself. It just won't happen. For all the struggles of the Tanzanian people, for all the hungry nights and the sickness and the death, I saw more smiles when I was leaving Tanzania than what I've seen since I've arrived back in the Western world. So the developing countries, they do need help because children are suffering, children are dying, men, women and children are dying. Because the countries that can assist them have sterilized themselves with material things. And when I say sterilize, I mean they've sterilized their happiness. So yeah, they need help, but at the same time the West needs to learn from something. Christmas is coming up, and I wish nothing more than if I had the ability to take some of the things away from my family instead of give them something. Because if I could take it away, I know I could make them a little bit more happier than what I will ever make them by giving them something. So, anyway, kind of just distracting myself while I drive home here, because being an emotional 24 was